Raíza.
Hi everyone, I'm Meredith.
I was here also during an exchange in University of Uvascular. And I was in the end of my studies in Brazil, of my bachelor studies, and I was thinking about doing masters, and I always had this idea of doing masters abroad. And I started searching for universities, and I was doing this kind of emailing them and checking the programs. And I emailed many universities, and Tampere University replied to me, and they told me, you can come here and you can visit us. And it was very nice and lovely, and I got to meet the staff, and they got students to show me the campus around, and they told me about the city, and they replied to all of my questions, and they were super lovely. So I thought that, okay, this is the place to be, and I felt very welcomed, and it was very welcoming. So yes, here I am.
For me it's quite close story, but not exactly the same. I was an exchange in my last year of bachelor in political sciences. I loved my exchange here. I loved the courses and the relationship with the teacher and this like well-being and not competition that was in the surrounding here. And then I started to establish also some relatives and friends and relationships here, and I kind of started my life with a year of Erasmus. Then I came back to France trying to do my master there because I was already enrolled in international relations, but reality struck me, and I didn't like living in France anymore. I realized how much of happiness I got being here. So then I decided, okay, I take a gap year and I try to apply to Tampere University. And I ended up choosing this master because it's basically the continuation of my bachelor. But at the same time, I also like the flexibility in the program to choose like elective studies, like to have minor in gender, for example, which, for example, in France there is no gender studies that much. So I think this is really a plus that I liked.
I started studying in University of Uvascular, and here I took a course, and sometimes I try to speak to people in Finnish. Sometimes I feel confident that I can finally speak. Sometimes I feel I don't know anything. I think that's the funny thing when you're learning a language. It always feels a bit, I know how to speak, I don't know what is happening, what's going on. But yeah, it's also a fun process. Commit mistakes when people don't understand what you're talking about. I also have a Finnish partner, and sometimes I'm writing emails in Finnish and I ask him to check and he's always laughing. But yeah, it's a language I like studying, at least.
Yeah. For me it was like it's a bit less advanced process. Like when I came here as an exchange, like I hated Finland for 3 months. Like the first 3 months were horrible. I hated the culture, I hated people, I hated everything. Like everything looked so strange and so unwelcomed. I studied Finnish language, so when I started Erasmus I spent 2 lessons and then I quit it. I was like, never I will come back anyway. Here I am. Then last year I tried, like the university courses were not fitting my work schedule, and I had to work for being able to study and provide myself. So then I took like some courses at Sampola that are free, but again like schedule changes and everything. So now I'm finally starting again properly from the autumn onward, Finnish courses. I also have a Finnish partner who doesn't want to speak Finnish to me because he's laughing too much at my moro moro. So then, yeah. And I think when I came, I was already trying to improve my English because French people don't really learn English so well at school. So it was already a step. Now, second step is Finnish.
But I think it's something I would encourage international students to study, even when they don't know if they are staying here or not, or they don't know about the future. I think even when you learn a few words, it makes things easier, and it's also an interesting experience for you in the human side as well, to learn a new language of the place you are living. So I encourage people to to try a course at the university and see how it looks.
Yeah, and like when you do these courses, you also learn about the culture.
Yes, yes,
That helps you
yes.
also to integrate,
Navigate,
yeah,
yes.
around and like not be like this scary bee as I was when I arrived here and like
I
really.
think I'm still the scared bee a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, we learn every day.
Yeah. I find it easier to speak to kids
Mm-hmm.
and also the elderly. Normally they are super supportive and they are so fun and they are so like, you say one sentence. I was at this market, Tamelontori, and I was trying to order in Finnish, and this old lady, she came and she was like, oh my god, you speak Finnish so well, and it was two sentences or so, and she started calling her grandchild and say, look at her, she speaks Finnish so well. So I think normally they are very supportive, so yeah.
I also learned my like first words with like child that I was taking care of, like French Finnish children, and there would the child would understand French but would reply in Finnish. So like thinking that I would get, and then he would get a bit upset, like why are you not getting what I'm saying? And so like my first words were like maito maybe, or some like vesi or what, like this basic
Baby talk.
maybe need.
Yeah.
Yeah.